Welcome back. This is the AFCON Daily Show on Citi TV. My name is Nathan Carl and the gang is here. Susu Graham, Daniel Koranteng and Fento Tahiru. Let me read one message. Ima from Dome is asking, why is no one complaining about our goalkeeper? I don't get it. Gideon from Foster Home says, what happened to Thomas Partey? He really underperformed. Daniel, your thoughts on the way forward? I was asking whether you think that after this chasing Milovan, Rajevac will stop playing defensive football and allow his team to breathe and play, or he could return to type. That's on one hand. On the other hand, where does the national team go from here? There's an AFCON next year in Cote d'Ivoire, middle of the year. Ghana would want to go back. We have to go back possibly to make amends. What should be done going forward?
I choose to look at it in two ways. If we are to sack Milo now, and we are looking at our current state and how we do things in this country, remember when we sacked CK, there was a clarion call from those of us in the business that if you want to get somebody who is actually capable of competing with the rest of the top teams in Africa, in a way that you start seeing it as a birthright to go out there and compete with them, then you need to increase your budget. Seriously. Because you're not going to be able to attract a top coach
paying $50,000,
paying $50,000. It's not going to happen. So when we looked at, or personally when I look at the pool of coaches available within that $30,000 bracket, and that's how I based my judgment on Milo, I thought it made sense. If we are going to pay somebody $30,000, then it should probably be somebody who has been here before, has done it. Of course, his recent record doesn't look as good as it used to be. But who else would you give this money to? And he started a job, not necessarily in terms of performances and blowing our minds with good performances, but the results went our way. We've qualified for the playoffs against all odds when he was taking over. But look, no matter how many times you talk, no matter where you pass, there is no excuse for the Black Stars of Ghana, even with this lopsided squad that they took to the AFCON, to finish last in a group that consists of Gabon and Comoros. No disrespect, but it is unacceptable. It cannot happen. If anything, you go out and win one match, finish third, and let them say you didn't finish as one of the best third places. Yeah. But you can't finish last with 1 point in a group that consists of Gabon and Comoros. It is not possible. So because of that, that is where you have to look at the coaching. Was the coaching the best during the tournament? No. Were there problems? There were a lot of problems. So as you, Daniel Koranteng, why were you insisting that Ghana will qualify? Because when I looked at the games in isolation, I looked at the first one. Performance wasn't the best in terms of how we wanted to see things, go out and dominate the opposition. But I would have done the same thing against Morocco. Based on the squad I had, I would have defended to the 90th minute and probably escaped with the draw. We didn't get it. Against Gabon, we had to win. And I sat here and I gave indication of why I was disappointed, because some of the things that I sat here in Accra and were able to see, some way, somehow, it was the same way I predicted if we were going to concede, we will concede. That's how the goal came about. So I was very disappointed because clearly it didn't look like the coaching staff did their homework. And then against Comoros, in as much as there was a red card, we can also dismiss the fact that we conceded a goal after 4 minutes. In the manner in which we conceded it. It can't happen like that. If it happened in the 90th minute, fine. But after 4 minutes, you cannot have your two centre-backs out wide on the left-hand side and have the entire middle of the park open for a counter-attack. It can't happen. No matter if it was a free kick, or your setup cannot be that poor, your organization cannot be that poor to that state where you concede a goal like that. It cannot happen. So then, the coach needs to answer questions. And I'm the sort of person who, you see, everybody has their job. I will not like it if I start my job and everybody is screaming in my ear, I should do this a certain way. If I choose to do things a certain way and I finish and it backfires, that's when I'll take criticism, or you can come and tell me what I did wrong and whatever. Yeah. So they named their squad. I said I wasn't necessarily convinced with the quality of players, but I hope they win. And it is not like we took that's why I repeat, it is not like we took a squad of players who couldn't qualify out of the group stages. That's my point.
Because this squad was
in as 8 players are supposed to be in this team, or are supposed to be in this team. Probably if those 7-8 players were there and with better coach, we can talk about winning. But this team is not of the set that quality that will finish last in a group consisting of Comoros and Gabon. Before the game, if you looked at the way the Comoros players were looking at Thomas Partey and Andre Dede Ayew, that should tell you that there was class in our team. There was quality in our team. They saw them and they saw that these are big players. I'm honored to be on the same field as them. And that in itself even gave them extra motivation to go out and beat Ghana. So, look, there's no excuse. And that's why I say the coaches and the coaching was suspect in that sense. You look at the man management throughout the tournament. In as much as the Morocco game plan worked, when you look at the timing of the goal and you look at the dynamics, the dynamics of the game and how it changed in the last 10 minutes, where Morocco started playing like they wanted the win, not necessarily worrying us in terms of chances, but their attitude had changed. You need to react. It's like chess. Once your opponent makes a move, you also need to make a move. Against Gabon, the same thing happened. We were 1-0 up, and I spoke about it after the game. We accepted that, okay, fine, 1 goal is enough. And there's nothing wrong with that. But when you accept that 1 goal is enough, make changes that show that you actually want to keep things compact and protect the lead. You don't just say, oh, guys, 1 goal is enough. And then the guys on the field,
players walking.
They are walking on the field.
They are walking, but
they
you
are
need to
tired.
defend, and you have left them to be walking.
No, it is you can't do that. So then the coach needs to answer for that. And in this game against Comoros, as I've said, you can't concede a goal like that, because once you concede a goal like that, it almost blows your game plan. And you see, when you look at the way Comoros even scored the first goal, they were coming to sit and then counter, sit and counter, fashion out a good chance for the guy that the rest of the way, and you put the ball in the back of the net. So you literally played right into their hands, and that's where my problem is. Looking at this from a technical point of view, but that's not the biggest problem. That's why I say I'll respect your decision until it backfires. Now it has backfired. Let's look at some of the decisions that we made going into the competition.
Okay.
I don't like mentioning names, but this is the national team, and it concerns me because of somebody's selfishness. I found it difficult to sleep last night, which shouldn't have been the case. Why is a player consistently being called? And you see, I'm saying this because I've received reliable sources from camp.
Yeah.
That
reliable.
The same way I am angry, the players in camp were also angry.
Of course.
That a player is sitting there and he knows one player is supposed to be in camp. He asks where he is, and they say the guy is having trials in Portugal whilst we are preparing for an AFCON. Are you kidding me? Is he Messi or Ronaldo that the rest of the players need to wait for him to finish his trial and then walk into the camp and come and join them, when somebody else could have occupied that slot? And you see, the players were extra angry because they themselves knew that if all the 27 players were injured in camp, we'll call people. He will still not play. We'll call people as replacement to come and join him. As for that guy in Kwadi, he won't play.
Oh, come here.
And you see, why are we doing that? Why will you take... CAF has given you an opportunity. And you see, this is another thing that people didn't look at. It was 23 man squad.
Yes.
But the extra 5 is being funded by the association.
Yes.
So if we are paying money to take an extra 5 people, why are you taking Philemon Bafo? Why is Wakasu going when he's injured? So that's chopping our money free.
Yes.
That is chopping our money. In addition to the bonuses he will take when he can't even do gym work because his knee is problematic. He should have been with his club in China for them to take care of him. Why did he come? We could have got an offensive midfielder or somebody to provide proper balance.
A player from China, Frankie
Champong is there.
He's there. He's playing.
Look, there are so many players that would. And you see, these things annoy
must
you.
Include a player from China.
And I'm sure they annoy everybody. And it's down to selfishness. What I'm saying is that even if you see, there's a clear-cut plan in a way that we know that will lead to success. You invest in grassroots football, these infrastructure, the lower age, and it will continue into the national team. Your local league, it will feed into the national team. But even if you want to pass around and you want to rely on talent from outside, some people have done it, and they've done it with proper scouting. If you look at the Nigerian team, it's a blend of the two. Some of the players are from their youth team setup. In fact, the whole front three play the under 20 together in front. Simon, under 17, under 20. Simon, Gigi, Iheanacho, and Awoyini, yes, Awoyini, the Liverpool boy, Union Berlin boy. The four of them were all in that team, so they've known themselves. And then we have the likes of Aribo and Co, Ola Aina and Co, who were a product of proper scouting. The Nigerian FA went out from league to league to league. They hear your name, they check your roots, they come, they see that you're a quality player who can help them. They come make the team attractive for you and convince you as to why you should play for Nigeria. That's how it's done.
There are two Chelsea youngsters
in that team. You don't sit down there and then you wait, and then you go and bring us somebody from some place you've not heard before. And then the person to whom play, then you got. You don't do things like that.
The person will reject you. The
person will reject you.
We don't know him.
We don't know him. Then you ask you who he is. You give an explanation as to who he is, what he can do, what he can't do. We'll be excited.
Then say he won't come.
That's an
Look
insult.
at what we did with the Yabua boy, Calvin Yabua.
Look, the team is so unattractive that even the guys outside there, they don't even want to play. See, I was listening to an interview Kevin Prince Boateng did yesterday after the game. Look, the sense he spoke, you may not like the messenger, but the message is quality. Look, he made a comparison between the 2010 team, 2014 team. Everything he said made perfect sense. And he didn't even take himself out of it. If you looked at this team, and this is another point that I really wish Nketiah was here. It's another point he made a couple of months ago about different objectives in the team. The reason why the senior players are angry that somebody is sitting there in trial, and some of the players in the team don't even understand why they are angry, is because some of the young players in the team, in their heads, they have 5, 6, 7 AFCONs to go. The senior players also know that
this is probably
the best time or the last time they can win it. So let's give our all.
No unity of purpose.
So no unity of purpose, no unity at all. Somebody is thinking something here. There's no unified purpose, and that is a problem. That all stems from the top. So in as much as we can get up and sack a coach, I really wish that we could also get up and sack the GFA president and sack the ESCO, because they are handling the team for us. So in as much as they elect themselves,
when they wanted money, they came to us.
They came to us. Yes. We give them money. We are the ones paying the coach. We are the ones paying the players.
Yes.
We are the one, even DSF, we pay them. So if I got, and I'm using this platform, I'll drive to the GFA headquarters,
demonstration,
placard, and demonstrate. They need to organize an emergency press conference
and
explain. If it makes sense, fine. If it doesn't make sense, that press conference then just resign honorably and go.
And you see,
because
in 2019,
it's been 2 years since all they've shown is incompetence, Nathan. That's all they've shown. The league, look at the league. That was brought back. The love was brought back by just Hearts and Kotoko doing well, not necessarily because of the effort of the GFA. And then in an AFCON, you are allowing the league to go on. Nobody cares. And everything they are handling is
like we just want to honor matches.
Yes, let's just go and play. And we are sitting there, nobody even knows somebody is playing here, nobody knows anything. It's just incompetence all around. So I think that's where we should focus on. Not necessarily as for coaches and players, we can change them all the time. If this player is not good, the next match you can change him. But the people we can't just change immediately, who we have to force to do the right thing, are the guys at the FA. And when they do the right thing, it will translate into how everything else will succeed or not.
And just to add to